We have some breaking news. According to Adrian Wojnarowski, former New York Knick Taj Gibson is returning on a one-year deal to the New York Knicks. We're going to break down this entire report and so much more today. So keep it locked into the Knicks Recap. If you're not subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of any of the new content. And now, let's get started. Taj Gibson is returning to New York. I said it in a previous video, folks. Tom Thibodeau loves his vets, and given the opportunity, if he has the chance to add a vet again, he will do so. I named Nerlens Noel. I named Taj Gibson in my last video. Lo and behold, not even 24 hours later, the New York Knicks sign Taj Gibson. According to Adrian Wojnarowski, free agent forward/center Taj Gibson is returning to the New York Knicks on a one-year deal. With Mitchell Robinson sidelined with an injury, Tom Thibodeau has backed one of his favorites. Gibson's played for Thibodeau with the Bulls, Wolves, and the Knicks. Ian Begley from SNY also reported the following and stated that Gibson is signing with the Knicks on a standard one-year deal, and Gibson gives the New York Knicks depth in the wake of Mitchell Robinson's ankle injury. This is Gibson's second stint with the New York Knicks. Organization highly values his leadership. And if you were wondering how the Knicks were able to pull off this move, they had to waive one of their two-way players in Dylan Windler. Once they did that, it freed up a roster spot. And they used that roster spot to sign Taj Gibson. We gotta remember, Windler's contract wasn't guaranteed yet. Shout out to Woj, SNY's Ian Begley, and also the New York Post Stefan Bondi for giving us all of these updates on the New York Knicks signing Taj Gibson. This is not a surprise, folks. I knew it. I called it. I knew when I saw Jericho Sims out there, and I knew how Tom Thibodeau relies on his vets, how he loves his vets. I knew it was only a matter of time before Tom Thibodeau got in the ear of Leon Rose and made the Knicks make a type of deal to get Taj Gibson on this team. And lo and behold, it absolutely happens. And if you noticed, in this report by Adrian Wojnarowski, he states Tom Thibodeau has backed one of his favorites in Taj Gibson returning to the team. So this actually indicates that the Knicks listened to Tom Thibodeau, that Tom Thibodeau went to the Knicks, went to Leon Rose, and he said, you know what? I'd feel better. I'd feel more comfortable if I had one of my vets here. Get me Taj Gibson, make him come back to the team. And then after that happened, Leon Rose brought him back. Tom Thibodeau has a Tom Thibodeau guy back on the bench, or you never know. He might start. I have no idea what Tom Thibodeau is going to do at this point in time. Because in my opinion, what you should do is start Isaiah Hartenstein and then have Taj Gibson come off the bench. Because now with the signing, we know Jericho Sims is not seeing any more time. But with Tom Thibodeau, you never know. He may like the bench unit so much and want to keep it the same that he might start Taj Gibson and might have Hartenstein come off the bench still. We have no idea what Tom Thibodeau is going to do. And honestly, guys, that scares me because he should be playing it by matchup. And it seems like he's not going to do that. It seems like he's going to do it based on who he thinks is going to be the best fit with the starters and the bench. And if I know Tom Thibodeau, the lineup sooner or later is going to be Taj Gibson starting and Isaiah Hartenstein coming off of the bench. And Taj Gibson's likely going to start until Mitchell Robinson comes back. It's a scary thought, but honestly, it's a realistic thought too. Let me say this about the Taj Gibson signing though. Even though I called it, even though I knew it was going to happen, I didn't want it to happen. There's a lot of reasons I didn't want it to happen, but for the one reason is the Knicks could have looked deeper into their bench. They could have looked at one of their two-way players to bring up and call onto the roster to play some minutes instead of giving Taj Gibson a contract. I understand the love affair. I understand what Ian Begley's saying in terms of his leadership and his veteran presence. Obviously, Tom Thibodeau loves him. He has chemistry with a lot of the players on the Knicks right now. So I get it from a lot of those positions. I understand. But why do it if you have other players on the Knicks that you could bring up, call up, and help facilitate that same need? And they are younger players as well, too. So they fit with that youth movement that the Knicks are trying to move with right now. Because it looks like the Knicks are trying to add players that fit their age timeline. all due respect to Taj Gibson, he doesn't fit the age timeline of any team right now, let alone the Knicks. So it doesn't make sense to me in terms of that. But again, if you're trying to sell me veteran leadership, a presence in the locker room, if you're trying to sell me somebody that Tom Thibodeau trusts, yes, in that regard, of course it's going to make sense. But you have players on the roster you could have gone to. That's why this move is a little bit of a head scratcher to me. Because in that regard, why not go out and get somebody who's a little bit younger then? Why not get a JaMychal Green? Why not trade with the Chicago Bulls to get a Drummond? His value might not be high right now because he's not playing significant minutes. So why not do that? There were a number of ways the Knicks could have handled and addressed this need for the center spot. But instead of the Knicks going out and getting a free agent who might be a little bit younger or making a trade for a player that could make a significant difference, they went out and got a vet that's a Tom Thibodeau guy in Taj Gibson. Again, I don't hate the move. I understand the move. I just don't like the move because there was a number of different ways the Knicks could have handled it, and they decided to go the easy route, sign a veteran for Tom Thibodeau, and it sounds like listen to Tom Thibodeau and just go ahead with what he asked and not even question it. Not even say, why not try and go with one of your two-way players? Why not try to bring one of those players up and see what they can do with this roster? Didn't even try to do that. Just went ahead and said, okay, Thibs, we agree. We'll go ahead and bring back Taj Gibson for you. And that's exactly what they did. And by doing that, they're taking away some time from other players on this Knicks team. And maybe by doing that, they're going to push Josh Hart back to his more natural position. And that might be the only good that comes out of Taj Gibson being signed by this Knicks team. Because you can make the argument, even after Mitchell Robinson comes back, they might keep Taj Gibson as the backup power forward to Julius Randle so they can put Josh Hart at his natural role. I don't know if that's going to happen, but because he signed for the rest of the year, I got to imagine that's likely the most likely scenario. And if that doesn't scare you guys, guess what? It does scare me. It's going to take away minutes for some other guys. Maybe you guys don't mind that, but that for me is one of the biggest things about this season. I thought we were going to utilize more of the roster, more of the depth, more of the players that we had, not sign aging vets like Taj Gibson to come in, take away some of the minutes. And even though he plays a role and he does fit a need, he's still taking away meaningful minutes from other players on the roster. And that's just my 2 cents and my opinion on it. But what about you guys? What do you think about the New York Knicks bringing back Taj Gibson? Was it a good move or a bad move? Let me know in the comments because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans. Peace.